one time officially through the rotation, and the arms were cranked and ready to go as expected for the first week of the season. It's no secret that the Philly on the mound each night will be leaned on heavily to set the pace for this club. First time through, and the shoulders that they've leaned on have been broad and ready for the task. It's been a pretty good couple of days for the Phillies. They took 2 of 3 from the Miami Marlins. Now they welcome in the New York Mets, and they're going to try to do the same thing beginning tonight in front of a sold-out crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. Today is also the 3rd year anniversary of the sudden passing of our good friend Harry Galvis. Every day there are reminders wherever we go, whether it be at this ballpark or around the league or even outside the baseball season, and his memory is still vivid in our minds. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. As we mentioned, it is the 3rd anniversary of Harry Galvis' passing, and a day doesn't go by, a minute, an hour, that we don't think about him or even talk about him.
It's like with the same thing with Whitey. You know, you just have all these memories of the things they used to do when they were in the booth. They were around us so much, spent so much time with them. And I think one of the memories of those two guys both is you smile when you think about them. And to me, that's always been one of a person's greatest legacy is you laugh when you think about all the good times you had together. And it's hard to believe it's been 3 years. It just seems like it was yesterday.
Well, that impressive statue, which is out in left field, is visited quite often by fans, not only here in the ballpark, but also the vivid memory of that statue when they leave this ballpark. Well, a guy that Harry would have loved to call his games is Cliff Lee. He's on the mound tonight to get set to take on the New York Mets.
Well, Cliff Lee is just one of the outstanding starters on this club, Tom. You know, the Phillies have gotten off to this great start with their starting pitching. You know, they're only 3-3 overall, but the starters have been tremendous. Here's Cliff's game in Pittsburgh the other night. He only went 6 innings in this game because he threw a lot of pitches. There were a lot of foul balls. Only gave up 2 hits through that 1 double play ball. Pretty much in command of that game. Phillies in one of those games where they just were not scoring runs and wound up losing that game in extra innings. Talked about the starters and what they've done so far. A 3-1 record, a great earned run average. Just great stats up and down. Now, the Phillies, of course, are back here at Citizens Bank Park, a place where they love to play. Cliff Lee, he's one of those guys that wanted to come back here, and he talked about what it's like pitching in this place.
Anytime you're playing in front of a sellout, I mean, it's definitely a good thing. I mean, that many people showing up to watch you play, if you can't get up for that, then you got a problem. So I definitely enjoy it. I definitely respect the way the fans come out every game and understand the game, and yeah, they're a huge part of the success here, and without them coming and filling up the stands, then it wouldn't be possible for this organization to assemble a team like this.
And one of the players that gets the fans all fired up is that guy right there.
Oh, yeah.
Cliff Lee has a total package. He feels his position. He can hit. He can run the bases. And he looks like he's having a great time out there. Fans just love him.
All right, so the matchup tonight, the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies. It's Cliff Lee on the mound for the Phils. He'll be opposed by right-hander R.A. Dickey, who's had an awful lot of success against the Phillies in a short period of time. Well, one guy who's having some great success in the field is Freddy Galvis. He has energized this infield with his play. Think about last night and what he did. He has been a game changer. The lineups in first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Buck. The 3-game series between the Phillies and the New York Mets. Phillies just took 2 of 3 from the Miami Marlins. This is the first road trip of the year for the Mets. Let's take a look at the Mets starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Ruben Tejada. Daniel Murphy bats second. Justin Turner's over at third for David Wright. He'll bat third. Ike Davis is the cleanup hitter. Jason Bay is in left field batting fifth. Lucas Dudas in right field batting sixth. And then the bottom third of Hairston Tolley and R.A. Dickey. And they'll face Phillies left-hander Cliff Lee, who's gotten an extra day's rest. And he's coming off a pretty good start against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
All their starters have been tremendous so far, Tom, and Cliff Lee right there took his turn. He only pitched 6 innings in that game. He threw a lot of pitches, foul balls, quite a few foul balls, worked some more deep counts than you're used to seeing him do. But, you know, he has all the pitches. He's pitched well against the New York Mets, to say the least. Earned run average under 1 with a record of 2-0.
Well, he battled some control issues in the first part of that Pirates game, but really settled in. That's what's happening all across the Phillies rotation.
Well, you know, every once in a while he can get a little bit out of whack. Normally when he does that, he gets hit, because when he's wild in the strike zone, he throws enough strikes that he gets hurt. But in that game, he really did. The Pirates kind of a light hitting team anyway, and you know, he was able to get through 6 innings. Philly just couldn't score in that game, wound up losing extra innings. Well, it is a Friday night. Kind of a weird week. It doesn't seem like the weekend's on us already, but it is. And it's time now for our Nissan keys of the game. With the approach to Dickey, well, you got to have some kind of approach to him. What it is, who knows? Knuckleball are so tough to hit off. And, you know, they played 2 really good, clean games in a row. Ran the bases well, played good defense, pitched well. And that's what this team's going to have to do to be successful.
Well, here we go. The first pitch of the night to Ruben Tejada is in there for a strike, according to Brian Honora, the home plate umpire. So we're underway. Tejada takes over shortstop for Jose Reyes this year. He's not the same player, but he's probably a little better defensively than Reyes was at short. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, he's just 22 years old.
That's a heck of a statement, too, that he's better than Reyes, because, you know, Reyes you look at as one of the better shortstops in the league, but they really do like this guy. He played a lot of second for them for a while.
Last 42 games of last season, he had 327. He hits that one to left field pretty deep over the head of Mayberry, and it's going to be a 1-hop off the wall. Mayberry's throw to second is not in time, so Tejada's aboard with a leadoff double.
He's really done a good job for them out of the leadoff spot, too. He's been getting on base a lot, and right there he goes out and table sets for him.
That's his 5th double of the year already.
5th double of the year, yeah. When you're leading off with, you know, maybe leading off an inning with doubles, you're getting yourself in a really good scoring position. That was a cutter. And that's my point about when he can get wild in the strike zone. A lot of times that's what will happen, because he gets hit.
So a base runner now for Daniel Murphy. Murphy hitting 320 so far this year. And the first pitch a little low, 1 ball and no strikes.
When you're wild, you're better off being wild where they can't hit you.
Not too many guys in this lineup have had a lot of at-bats against Lee during their career. The most is Scott Hairston. He's batting 7th. He is 1 for 11 lifetime. And Jason Bay, who's 3 for 11 lifetime. A little high, 2-0.
Watch these guys on TV a few games this week, and they're really patient. They run a lot of deep counts, foul pitches off. They can get a starting pitcher out of the game in a hurry if you're not careful.
Line drive, base hit to right field. That one's heading to the wall. Tejada's heading to home. And it's going to be back-to-back doubles for the Mets, and they'll take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first.
It looked like the same pitch that Tejada hit. It looked like a cutter that was up. And he is wild in the strike zone right now and getting hurt, as opposed to last week in Pittsburgh when he was wild and he wasn't throwing pitches near the plate. Watch this one. Bam, right down the middle, a hanger. And you know, the Mets have swung the bats pretty well early in the season, especially extra base hits.
That's the 4th double for Murphy. So still a runner at second. 1-0 Mets on top. Justin Turner the hitter. Turner's batting 3rd. This is normally the spot where David Wright would hit. Wright broke his fractured a bone in his pinky earlier this week, diving back to first base. Wright said today that there's still swelling So the doctors, the hand specialist, told him to take today off and see how he is tomorrow and see if he can grip a bat. It seems like if he can't, they're going to wind up putting him on the disabled list. Although Terry Collins did not come out and say that today, he said that is a possibility. 2-1 the count to Turner.
Hard to believe you can play this sport with a broken finger. It's, you know, you can play others, but this one, and it's his throwing hand too. Even if you're thinking about him going out there on defense and throwing, he can't. You know, you need your little finger. And hitting on cold nights, tough.
2-2 the count to Turner. Well, when asked about his lineup, Terry Collins said today that Justin Turner last year provided a spark, drove in some runs, made good contact, and he said, you know what? I'm kind of taking a page out of Jim Leyland's book when he was the Pirates manager. When he gave Bonds the day off, whoever replaced him batted fifth. When he gave Bonilla the day off, whoever replaced him batted in Bonilla's spot. Alfonso Marquez says Turner doesn't go. So I just figured I won't disrupt everybody else. I'll just put Justin Turner into the 3-hole.
Broadcasters like that, especially if there's a lineup scratch.
3-2 the count. And a call, strike 3, right on the inside part of the plate. One away here in the first.
That's what Cliff Lee can do all of a sudden, start to paint a little bit. Watch him, he gets surprised here, and that's when these guys get hurt. He was leaning towards second, and as opposed to coming back in, you try to come back in with your palm on the bag. His hand went straight into the bag. Watch his hand go straight into the bag. And that is what fractured the little finger. You see guys when they go back into first, when they go back in head first, they're almost going to always hit the bag with their palm. But when you get surprised like that, you know you're just thinking about getting back.
Mike Davis late on the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Davis, you saw just one hit so far. He missed most of last year with a left ankle sprain.
This guy has a lot of movement in his swing, and right now he's off a little bit. Watch all the stuff he does with his hands.
Ground ball softly hit towards second. Galvis charges, has it, throws out Davis. The runner goes to third, but there are 2 outs. During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. 2 outs. And Jason Bay is the hitter. Bay's career with the Mets has not gone as he had planned. He's had some concussion issues and other injuries, and he just hasn't been the player they expected.
No, they were all over him early in the year, and the Mets have been playing well. And Tom, you said this is their first road game. They played 6 home games, and every time he makes an out, they're all over him.
0-1 the count. A little high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'd like to see Lee work his way through here, just give up the 1 run, get after a hitter who's been struggling. See, they make you throw pitches. And, you know, he's having a long first inning.
In the air to right center field. That ball is smoked, and that ball is gone. A long 2-run home run for Jason Bay, and it's 3-0 New York.
Well, that's what they think Jason Bay can do. He has done it throughout his career. He has tremendous power the other way, and he really made a good swing on that.
First home run of the year, 3rd RBI for Bay.
So Lee is close to getting out of the inning. Nice swing by Bay, and look at that ball explode out there. You said that's a long home run to right center. That thing was way out off the bat.
So the Phillies down by 3, and now the bases are empty. Lucas Duda's the hitter. He has 2 home runs so far for the Mets. That leads the way. But he takes strike 1.
big time power right there. That's one of the reasons why Bay got all that money when when he's moved from team to team, because that potential is there, but he is really erratic and he's been hurt a lot.
Curveball, he broke his bat. Not hit hard. Galvis is there, and the side is retired. So the Mets get 3 runs in the inning. An RBI double by Daniel Murphy, a 2-run home run by Bay. Middle of the first, Mets 3, Phillies coming up. We go to the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at his lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Center field is Shane Victorino's tonight, followed by Placido Polanco and Jimmy Rollins. Hunter Pencil at 4th. Jim Thome gets the start tonight. He's over first base batting 5th. Then John Mayberry, Carlos Ruiz, Freddy Galvis, and Cliff Lee. The bottom 3rd against R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer who won his first start, walked 4, allowed 5 hits, threw a lot of fastballs in that start because it was so windy.
Victorino batting right-handed against him, as he will sometimes.
First pitch of the night to Victorino, in there for a strike, and it's 0-1.
And he'll throw fastball. His knuckleball sometimes looks like a slider because it breaks away from hitters and it breaks fairly sharp. He throws a fairly hard knuckleball.
Ground ball to shortstop. Tejada comes in on it, throws out Victorino, 1 away. R.A. Dickey for his career. This is the 7th ball game against the Phillies. He's 2-3 with a 2.61 earned run average.
Hit him a little bit better here. They don't hit him much in New York. Pull one hitter out of him in New York one night.
Shut him out a couple of times. The Phillies are hitting .234 against him, and he's allowed only 2 home runs against the Phillies.
Ibanez hit one to dead center off him.
Well, quickly on 3 pitches, he has 2 outs here in the first. Not that it really phases a knuckleballer how many pitches he throws from game to game. Here's J-Roll. He's hit it 3 straight, 5 for 13 in the series against the Marlins. And only 1 hit against Dickey for his career. And there's a strike on the fastball. It's 0-1. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Richard Smith of Nazareth. If the Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, the Rich will win $100. Line drive, base hit for Rollins toward right center field. The way Hairston and Duda went after it, Rollins will try for 2. Here's the throw offline. It's a 2-out double.
Jimmy Rollins, one of those guys who's had almost no luck against Dickey. He's really struggled against him. Got a knuckleball there, it looked like, and really centered him. You see they're playing him towards left center, so Hairston has a long way to go for this. Duda, the right fielder, And it's Hairston's ball all the way, and he just had a long way to go for that, and then he circled it. You know, you have to try and cut an angle, but you also have to circle it to get something behind the throw, and he came hard out of the box and smelled a double right away.
So runner in scoring position now for Pence, who's hit it 5 straight. At Pence grounds it towards shortstop to his left Tejada, and the inning is over. So the Phillies threaten but do not score in their half of the first. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. We go to the second here at Citizens Bank Park with the Phils down 3. MLB.com at bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Top of the second, 3-0 Mets. A shot from out in left field. That general area, of course, is HK's statue, which is visited quite often during the course of a ball game. Scott Hairston swings at the first pitch. This one might be tough to see. Freddy Galvis backing up. He'll give way to Pence. 1 out. So that'll help Cliff Lee to get an out on the first pitch here in the second. And now Josh Tolley, the Mets catcher. And he is the everyday catcher. He's made contact against the Phillies during his career. So the 9 runs batted in.
Yeah, he's a guy you noticed right away when he came up. Didn't swing and miss a lot. Not a lot of power, but he would put the ball in play. They had questions about his ability to catch on this level. I guess not anymore. And he's catching a knuckleball.
It's a nice cutter right there. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Hiroki Kuroda was magnificent for the Yankees today. He pitched into the 9th inning. Alex Rodriguez homered. Yankees won 5-0 over Albert Pujols and the LA Angels of Anaheim. Was
right. It's always, well, every year you're trying to figure out what their name is. It's like now we got through the Miami Marlins.
Ground ball over the mound. Nice play by Rollins. Really no chance to get Tolley. And that's an infield single. Budweiser, through the Walk Off a Hero program, will donate $5,000 to Folds of Honor for every Phillies walk-off win. Please join Budweiser and the Phillies in honoring those who keep our nation safe. There's R.A. Dickey, and he bunts. That's a good one up the first base line. Tomey has it. Sacrifice is successful. It's 3 unassisted. And now, how about that? Totally. I don't know what he thought. He was starting to go back to first. He wandered off the bag, and the Phillies threw him out. That was a strange one. The Phillies get a break.
I guess it's Lee. Sees him wandering off. Here's the bunt right here. Jim Thome unassisted. Tosses it back to Cliff
He thinks
Lee.
it's a foul ball.
Oh, he's all the way at second base.
Look at
Yeah.
look at Cliff Lee.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank goodness Galvis was there to get the throw.
Yeah, I mean, they threw it all the way to second, and all they had to do is somebody walk over to first base with it.
Well, a strange event just finished up the top of the second, and a break for the Phils. Bottom of the top of the second finished up. Just to kind of finish it up for you, it's no sacrifice for R.A. Dickey. It turns out to be a double play.
Right, and that, I'm saying that, all they had to do was walk over the tag. Of course they did, because he was safe at second base, and he, for some reason, decides he's going to come running back to first.
He thought it was a foul ball.
Yeah, he thought it was a foul ball, and now they have to tag him coming back.
Because if he had gotten back to first, he would have been safe at first.
Sure.
Well,
I never saw that before. You say you've never seen something. That was no sack on the play. It's basically a grounded into.
Right.
Double play. Grounded into double play. Totally just had a brain cramp there.
I wonder what made him think that it was a foul ball.
One of the middle infielders told him to go back to first.
There's a high knuckleball that's called a strike against Thome. And there's one away. First strikeout for R.A. Dickey. Brian Anor is the home plate umpire. So he's running. He's not seeing anything. He's over to second. Now he peeks back. Maybe because it happened so quickly. I don't know if he said anything to Jimmy Rollins. But look at him. He's like, whoa, what's going on? Tom Goodwin, who's the first base coach, is probably wondering the same thing. What are you doing? There's John Mayberry, who takes a strike.
I looked down to write down sacrifice 3 unassisted, and the next thing you know, you heard that cheer out there. That was bizarre.
Mayberry's 1 for 6 against R.A. Dickey in his career, and he drills one deep down the left field line. Foul ball or fair ball? It's a foul ball. I thought maybe it was hit hard enough that it wouldn't hook a little bit, but it hooked.
That could have hurt somebody. Everybody's okay. They just hit it so hard that wasn't able to keep it fair.
Hurt that guy's hand.
Really?
But there was a youngster that was pretty happy about it.
That's a long way away, and you're still going to get hurt a little bit, as hard as that was hit.
A little topper foul toward the Mets dugout. 2-2 the count to Mayberry. John was 3 for 11 in the series against the Marlins. It's that one hard inside the third base bag. Second hit of the night for the Phillies. Bay gets to it quickly, throws to second, and Mayberry is a dead duck. Jason Bay played that one very well in lefts. 7-4 on the putout. Mayberry does get credited with a single, but there are 2 outs.
Yeah, he hits it hard right down the line, but it comes right off the concrete down there, right back to Jason Bay, right off the edge. And Mayberry, I don't know if he never looked at it. You know, when you're down by 3 runs.
That was that old the throw beat you, even though it looked like he got his hand in as Murphy applied the tag.
Yeah, he never really tagged him, but still, down by 3, you got to be safe by a lot.
Carlos Ruiz takes strike 1. Bay's having himself a good couple of innings. Off the end of the bat. Oh, no balls and 2 strikes. Well, the good news is John hit it hard. Bad news is the ball bounced right over to Jason Bay, and he played it pretty cleanly. Popped up around second base. Tejada, the shortstop, is there. The side is retired. So the Phillies go down rather quietly in their half of the second. Jason Bay's having himself a first couple of innings to remember. We go to the third. The Mets up 3-0. Fans trivia quiz. Wheels, name the only 2 managers in New York Mets history to win 100 games in a season. Is that a good question?
Yeah.
Well, you can log on to Phillies.com, go to the fans section for all the information, and submit your answer on the subject line. Mets are up 3-0 as we go to the top of the third. Cliff Lee will face the top of the order. He allowed 3 runs in the first. Face Ruben Tejada, Daniel Murphy, Justin Turner for New York. Phillies are 3-3. The Mets are 4-2. It's the Washington Nationals who lead the division at 5-2, a half a game ahead of the Mets. They're in the third against the Reds down in D.C. This is not a Mets team that hit the ball that well against the Nationals in their last series. They hit just 181 against them, and they scored 6 runs in 3 games.
Well, Lee was wild in the strike zone the first inning, and they made him pay for it.
A little high, 2 balls and no strikes. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Red Sox have defeated the Tampa Bay Rays 12-2. Kelly Shoppach had 2 RBIs.
opening day at Fenway and stop some bridge jumping up there.
You think it will?
Well, for a day. I mean, you know, it's East Coast baseball, so you know it's day to day.
Red Sox now 2-5. The Rays 4-3. Tejada to right field. The birthday boy Hunter Pence is over. And he makes the catch. One of PHL 17's most popular and talked about shows is back. This week's episode features the Phillies Ball Girls, along with the latest styles and today's best music. You can catch the new Dancing on Air tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Wheels on PHL 17. Want to relive some of your youth and maybe appear on that show?
I don't remember seeing the original. Bandstand was my era, and that's way back. That's the original Bandstand.
Right, but that's Dancing on Air is my generation's and this generation's Bandstand.
Right. So when you were saying relive, no, there's nothing for me to relive on those shows. By the time kids were doing that stuff, I was already over the hill.
1-1 pitch to Murphy is in there for a strike. It's 1-2.
Party was long over.
Video Dan Stevenson asked me on our Ask the Phillies segment, who's the best dancer among the broadcasters. I thought about you first.
No.
And a call, strike 3. Murphy goes down looking. 2 outs, second strikeout for Lee.
You had to say either Larry or Sarge, right?
I said Murph because you know I have never seen Murph dance, so I was just assuming that he was good.
Oh, okay. See, he's making his pitches now, and it's just a shame that Bay touched him off for that bomb, because he was that close to being out of the first inning when he was struggling with 1. Now you're down by 3 with you know, with an offense that can struggle on given nights, especially against this particular pitcher tonight.
Justin Turner thought that pitch was high, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
See him go up.
Going 2.
He's right there with everything right now. It's amazing. A lot of times, you know, a guy like Lee, he can escape it. Many times you talk about getting a great pitcher in the first inning, and that's what the Mets did tonight. They got him in the first inning. Now he's right there with everything.
Paints with that cutter. 3 strikeouts overall for Lee, including back-to-back strikeouts, looking to finish up the top of the 3rd. On to the bottom of the 3rd. Phil's looking for some offense. To you by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. By Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. And by Nissan. Go to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. Innovation for all. Bottom of the 3rd, Freddy Galvis leads it off. Shows bunt against R.A. Dickey and takes outside. It's 1-0. Galvis hit it 3 straight. Beautiful bunt last night. This one sent in the air deep to right field. That's going to be his first major league home run. Freddy Galvis puts the Phillies on the board here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Soak that one in, young man.
He did a really good job waiting on that. Lucas Duda couldn't find it. And by the time he saw it, it was about 10 rows into the seats.
Well, that was a beauty. He's getting all of the first out of the way on this homestand.
And they'll go out there and get that ball for him, too.
Look, they're ignoring him in the dugout. Look.
They're giving him the freeze right now. Look at him laugh.
Look at Jim Tobey. Look at Jimmy Rollins. Cliff Lee.
Love that when they do that to him.
It's funny. By the way, Richard Smith of Nazareth has won $100. Compliments of Freddy Galvis in the McDonald's home run jackpot. Lee lines it to right center. He's aboard with his first hit of the year. He takes a turn, holds up there.
Now they both really waited on knuckleballs. Freddie and then Cliff. Man, what are they doing?
It's a nice swing right here.
Yeah, that's a knuckleball up. And Freddie got a good swing on. You see, he waited really nice and hit it well out of the box. That may have been a fastball looking at it. There's a knuckleball that Lee just hit, and that may have been a fastball. He's thinking that's the slowest fastball I'm going to see in the major leagues.
Well, good for Freddie.
Yep.
Good for the Phils, too. They're on the board. Here's Victorino with a runner at first.
I'll send somebody out there in the stands to barter for that baseball for Freddy Galvis.
Well, speaking of out in the stands, Greg Murphy looks very comfortable out in the stands tonight. Huh, Murph?
Absolutely. I was pretty close to that home run ball, and they're going again. The Philly Fanatic down there. I think the Philly Fanatic just collected it. You know, guys, you were talking about the approach to a pitcher like R.A. Dickey, and Charlie Manuel talked about that today. And he said he wants to see his guys move up in the batter's box and move closer to the plate because he wants these guys swinging at strikes and not getting fooled on some of the junk stuff that R.A. Dickey can throw up there. So we'll see if they're able to do that the second time through the lineup. Obviously, so far so good in this inning as Freddy Galvis gets his first major league home run out here in right field, guys.
Yeah, you know, Murph, it's a good point. I mean, Sarge talks about that a lot of times, even last night with Mark Burley. Some of the soft tossers kind of take away part of the plate and, you know, don't allow them. You figure they're not going to strike you out by throwing it by you. Don't allow them to own the inside part of the plate or the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Charlie was saying. And he also said if you move up, you know, closer to the pitcher, move up in the batter's box, then sometimes you can take away that break, that last break on that knuckleball and hit it before it actually moves. And that's what he's looking for tonight.
All right, well, 2-2 the count to Victorino, and he lines it deep to left field, and it's going to hook foul.
Got to move that pole a little bit. Well, the old thing about a knuckleball has always been high, let it fly, low, let it go. And that's so true. You know, if it's up in the zone a little bit, then the odds are it may dive down. If it's low coming out of his hand, the odds are it's going to be a ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count to Shane Victorino. And a called strike 3. That knuckleball came back almost like a slider, and you mentioned that before.
Yeah, well, we saw this with Dickey last year. How it's almost looked like a curveball or a breaking ball of some kind. I mean, Shane definitely thought it was higher than it looped the plate. And he had a point.
Josh Tolley almost dropped it. Here's Polanco with 1 out. Strike 1.
You see that big catcher's mitt that Tolley's using.
A lot of these knuckleballers will carry their own catcher's mitt with them. I was with a knuckleballer for several years in Trenton, New Jersey with the Thunder, Jared Fernandez, who pitched in the big leagues, and he carried the catcher's mitt with him. And whoever caught, he just let them use the glove.
Yep. I mean, you have to have a glove that.
It's like a softball player's catcher's mitt.
Yeah, try and catch that thing.
See, there he caught it, but didn't realize it.
Nope.
It's not as bad as wandering off the second base bag when you think up on his foul.
Watching Tolley, he's doing a good job with him because he's receiving the ball. It's when you see a catcher struggle with a knuckleball, it's because they start stabbing. But he's receiving it, and it's a lot easier said than done to wait on it like he is. Probably loves to put down one once in a while too, and knows he's got something straight coming at him. Hope the hitter doesn't realize that.
Terry Collins, Bob Guerin, his bench coach, former A's manager. 1-2 the count to Polanco. I think that was a fastball. I don't think that was a knuckleball. I think that was a fastball.
It was a fastball, and he tried to run it back over the outside corner and almost did.
Terry Collins been ejected from one game already this year. Another strikeout. Polanco down swinging. Third strikeout for R.A. Dickey. And there are 2 outs. Chicago Cubs will be here. They won't have a knuckleballer with them. It'll be Friday, April 27th for a 4-game series. It includes the Fanatics' birthday, brought to you by Citizens Bank on Sunday the 29th, a free Fanatic Bank for fans 14 and under. And then Monday the 30th is a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. Get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. There's the Fanatic. They'll be celebrating a birthday. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, final score in St. Louis. The Cubs have spoiled the Cardinals' home opener. Starlin Castro had 3 hits and a couple runs scored.
9-0 at one time. They led that thing behind some margin and wound up 9-5. It was rain delayed game. I wonder if they got their rings today. They probably did.
Game 2, I think they're supposed to get the rings.
Is there game 2?
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And that ball gets away from Tolley. Lee will go to second.
He's been doing a pretty good job handling it, but those are pass balls when the catcher misses those knuckleballs. You see right here, it just danced at the last second. He didn't stab at it. He received it. He just missed it.
I believe it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Rollins. Scoreboard says 3-1. Yep, it's 2-2. Brian Anora just put it up.
Yeah, that pass ball was a strike.
Much to the chagrin of Jimmy Rollins. Swing and a miss. Tolley picks it off the dirt, applies the tag. Phillies are retired here in the 3rd, but a little history for Freddy Galvis. His first major league home run. This is what started the 3rd, first run of the night for the Phils. We go to the 4th. It's 3-1 Mets. At athome.com to find branded products you want at low prices you'll love. Who but WB Mason at home. Well, we go to the top of the 4th. Phillies are on the board. It's 3-1 in favor of the Mets. They scored all 3 runs in the 1st inning. Cliff Lee has since settled in. Gary Matthews joins us in the booth. Speaking of settling in. Sarge, what do you think of these first 3 innings?
Pitcher's duel. Just some mistakes there, though, by Lee. How about Galvis' first home run there? Let me tell you, that wasn't just
cheap.
going out.
No.
It was a pretty nice one there. And those are the things really that will settle you down and make you feel good. Sooner or later, the young kid will figure it out.
Like Davis swings at the first pitch. There's one away. Nice reaction for the crowd after Jim Thome was able to make that play. Time for a Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Well, this is the first home run of the night.
Yeah, that ball was smoked there. Cripple pitch almost right down the middle as it goes out. Bay hitting that ball. Opposite field there. There's your Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
So 1 out here at the top of the 4th. Bay batting for the 2nd time. And he takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. It is funny, though, Sarge, how, some of the best pitchers in the game, they might be a little out of sorts in the first inning, but then they kind of figure something out.
Oh, yeah, that location. Yeah, most of your number 1, number 2 pitchers have a lot of pride.
Well, and ever since that first inning, Lee has barely missed where he's wanted to throw the ball. Like there.
Yeah. No, he likes to throw the ball near the knees there. He can elevate the ball, but this bread and butter there, that breaking pitch and making sure he gets that cutter on the inside part of the plate.
3-1 the count to Bay.
Good pitch. And you notice how, too, Ruiz just puts down those numbers. Most of the pitchers very seldom shake him out. He's just right on the same page.
There he goes. That one tailed toward the outer part of the plate. A changeup. And it's the 4th strikeout for Lee. And he's retired now 6 in a row.
Right. What an adjustment after that home run. This is what you get for that. You see that ball on the outside part of the plate there as it goes away. Just impossible to hit.
So 2 outs. Here's Lucas Duda, who grounded out his first time up. Loops that one foul.
That's more like where he wants it, in on the hinge, especially on those big guys there. You don't want him to get those arms extended. Always seems to be around the plate. Fast balls, breaking balls, that's coming inside. I would think, though, that most hitters don't mind hitting against Cliff Lee because he is around the plate. He throws strikes. No, and he's not trying to walk any batter.
Good curveball and a call. Strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Lee. He has found something. He retires the side in order for the 2nd straight inning. The birthday boy, Hunter Pence, will lead it off when we come back to the bottom of the 4th. inventory now at your Honda dealer. Buy McDonald's, get a large sweet tea for $1. And buy the Quality Plus Ford stores. 3-1, Mets on top. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Hunter Pence, Jim Thome, John Mayberry. Those are the scheduled hitters for the Phillies. 8 and 9 got some stuff going against R.A. Dickey. Let's see if the middle of the order can get something going as we start the fourth.
Now you want that knuckleball coming in high. Don't want to swing at it once it's low. The ball usually continues to go low.
Off the end of the bat, Murphy, the second baseman, throws out Pence. Now 1 away. Well, Monday, May 14th, when the Astros are here, Sarge, it's TEVA Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night, and all fans will receive a great new cap design featuring the Liberty Bell. Tickets are available now by going to Phillies.com. Here's Jim Thome. Thome with 604 home runs in his career. 96 of those home runs have come as a member of the Phillies.
There's that low knuckleball. You can see how it continues to go down. That's why you do want that ball up in the zone. It's okay to swing at that one. Doesn't guarantee you success, but you do want to move closer to the plate or move toward the pitcher. Get a chance to look at that ball a little bit better. This Dickey's kind of tricky too, because he'll throw that slider 3 and 2.
You made a rhyme, Sarge.
No pun intended.
First walk of the night. So Thome's aboard. And here comes John Mayberry.
Now again, though, that same pitch, though, 3-2, you can see when it's low how it continues to go low. That's why you want it up high, so when it settles, you'll be able to hit it and see that ball a lot better. Not as much movement usually when that pitch is up.
John Mayberry singled and was thrown out trying to stretch that single into a double. His first time up. Ball gets away from Thome, not far enough though to allow Thome to go. That was a smart move by Thome, because I think he would have been out.
Yeah, there's no question he would have been out there. You can see that ball very difficult to catch. That's why you have that long glove and a little more flimsy. Right, Mayberry's play, that's judgment there. That ball's right in front of him, so he has to know whether or not he can make it to second. Well, you can almost go halfway and stop and get back if the fielder catches the ball, and Bay was in the right position.
Ground ball picked up by Turner. That could be 2. And it will be a 5-4-3 around the horn double play, and the Phillies go down quietly in their half of the fourth. We've completed our first 4. We move on to the 5th here at Citizens Bank Park. It's a brand new season of the Charlie Manuel Show on a new night. Go behind the scenes of Phillies baseball with the skipper Saturday nights right after PHL 17 News at 10. The Charlie Manuel Show tomorrow at 10:30 only on PHL 17. One of the new features on the Charlie Manuel Show is 6 Degrees of Charlie Manuel. You know what that is, Sarge?
No, I sure don't.
It's where we find some folks that have met Charlie that are in the game today. We asked them about the day that they met Charlie, when they first met him. Like Jim Leland, Buck Martinez, who does the play-by-play for the Blue Jays. Some funny stuff.
Okay. Well, you're hosting it, so we'll look forward to it and see exactly how funny it is.
Well, I didn't do that part, but it is funny.
Okay.
My part's not really funny.
Oh, well.
Charlie's funny, though.
Charlie can be funny.
Yes, he can.
I plan to go on that show this year.
What are you going to do with him?
I'll probably do a little cooking on the show.
What are you going to cook?
Shrimp, crab, bisque, maybe in a little sourdough bowl.
I love the fact you have your menu already laid out.
Oh, you kidding me?
Scott Hairston's the batter, and he hits one in the air deep to left field. Forget about it. That one is not coming back. Hairston took a hanger, and it's the second home run of the night for the Mets. And it's a 4-1 ball game.
Well, I tell you, this kid gets traded all over, and I don't know if he ever gets a chance to just play on a daily basis, but when he's in there, and especially against some of the left-handers, he can put a charge in a ball. I mean, hit that ball a long way. As soon as he hit it, it was no doubt about it. It was getting out of the ballpark. Check it out. And you're right, that is a hanger. You see how, though, he waited on it? That's why you have slow feet, and when you do, you're able to pick up that ball and you're able to locate it and put a good swing on it.
That home run for Hairston is first. He's playing center field for the injured Andres Torres. Torres is on the disabled list. Hurt himself in the opener. He had been hurt during spring training. Tolle hits it the opposite way on the ground. Chopper to Polanco. 1 out.
Got that one right in on his hands there. No, that pitch to Hairston, though, if he wants to throw that curveball, I'm sure he wanted it down. You know, and after he ended up striking out Duda on that curveball, didn't surprise me that Ruiz would come back with it because it was so sharp. That one kind of just rolled out of his hand, if you will.
Well, here's R.A. Dickey, who, as it turns out, bunted into a double play his first time up.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
He bunted. It was a beauty up the first base line. Jim Thome fielded it, tagged him out. Josh Tolle went to second. Thome flipped it back to Lee. Tolle decided to walk back to first base. He must have thought the ball went foul.
You know, but if you're unsure, though, you just stay on the base, ask the coach. You know, if you don't want to ask anyone else, it didn't appear that any of the Phillies said anything to him.
There's a strike to Dickey. It's 3-1.
That's just something that shouldn't happen. A little bit of a brain cramp. Ball's in on his knuckles.
There's Ruben Tejada with Murph in the background. Ground ball, softly hit. Rollins charges, and there are 2 outs. Follow along as Cliff Lee narrates the recap of the 2011 campaign that saw the Phils win their 5th consecutive NL East title and set single-season franchise records and wins with 102. Order your copy of Making History, the 2011 Phillies video yearbook, by calling 877-GO-PHILS. You can stop by the Majestic Clubhouse store, or you can shop online at Phillies.com. 2 gone here in the 5th. Ruben Tejada, the hitter. 1 for 2. 0-1 the count.
Well, as a club, only one club is hitting 300. That's the St. Louis Cardinals, 301. Then you got Houston in the 270s, and then other than that, everybody 250 or lower.
Yeah, including the Mets, who were right at 250 as Tejada lifts it to center for the final out. They do get a run, though, on the home run by Scott Hairston. He took a hanging curve and deposited it deep into the left field seats. We go to the bottom of the fifth, and it's back to a 3-run Mets lead. Fifth inning here at Citizens Bank Park. Time now for the Kia Minor League Report. And you see Lehigh Valley and Reading both off to good starts. Reading's at 7-1. Clearwater's 3-4. Meanwhile, the Lakewood Blue Claws, they're in sixth place at 3-5 in the South Atlantic League. Lehigh Valley, good start for Ryan Sandberg.
Yep.
For Reading, they've got the young aces, that's what they're calling them. Some of the best pitching prospects in the Phillies organization are pitching in Reading.
That's pretty good, too, when you got AA and AAA playing the way that they are. Not too far away once you're in AA.
Ruiz takes low. 1 ball and 1 strike as we start the fifth.
Early in the game, though, you can look for fastballs here off of Dickey. You'll get that pitch. No, he throws that knuckleball, but that knuckleball a little bit harder than most. Phil Negro would throw his a lot softer.
What about Charlie Huff?
Charlie Huff a little harder than Phil Negro, not as hard as Dickey, but they all would throw that fastball to try and sneak it by you every now and then.
Swing and a miss, dropped by Tolley. He gets to it. He reacted quickly. Ruiz is retired. Fifth strikeout for R.A. Dickey. Well, it's Charlie Huff who helped R.A. Dickey with his knuckleball. R.A. Dickey was a first-round selection by the Texas Rangers. He was a hard thrower. He didn't throw the knuckleball. But this became a last resort for him.
You could tell that was a knuckleball and just kind of slid away. Again, that ball up in the zone. And the reason I say you swing at it high, you can hit it. And the ball's not thrown like it's 94, 95. That's the ball you don't want to swing at. That's high in the zone.
There's Freddy Galvis. He homered his first time up, bunts his second time up. Dickey makes a nice play. And there are 2 outs.
Well, good thought on that. But again, you want to go toward the lines. We've talked about that before. And if he does, that's going to be a hit. You know, you want to go in toward the line. So if it isn't fair, then it's foul. Not toward the pitcher there that you're trying to push it by.
Cliff singled his first time up. Well, he's down 4-1. Anyway, R.A. Dickey was a first-round selection by the Rangers, a hard thrower. And it's because of all the arm problems he's had during his career that he basically switched to being a knuckleballer. He said it was kind of a last resort, and he has salvaged his career. And at the age of 37, he's turned himself into a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, well, good for him to be able to master that knuckleball. Not as easy as it seems. Cliff Lee hits another fastball right out over the plate. Guarantee you, he's looking fastball all the way on that. Fastball he throws only 84, 85. Just about anyone can hit it, but when he mixes it up, gets ahead, you're not going to get that pitch.
3 2-hit games last year, first of the 2012 season, as he takes the early lead in the pitcher's hitting competition.
Yep.
So now Victorino is 0 for 2.
Victorino thinking maybe that pitch a little bit low.
Not surprising that he's batting right-handed. More comfortable from the right side.
Well, he has more power on that right side for me.
Loops that one down the right field line. Nobody's going to get this one, but it goes foul. He played with Pete Rose. Pete Rose from time to time would bat from, let's say, the left side of the plate against a tough lefty like Randy Jones, or even from the right side of the plate against a tough pitcher that he could see a little bit better from that spot.
Randy Jones would not throw as hard, so he felt comfortable on that left side to be able to hit against him.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Lee leads off first, not being held on. Each team with 5 hits, but the Mets have a 2-run home run and a solo home run. The Phillies have 1 solo shot. Jason Bay's 2-run home run is part of a 3-run first.
Yeah, that's the one that really hurt.
That one's toward left center field. That's going to drop. Lee is already around second, on his way to third. Bay will throw to second base. The man loves the game. He plays it as well as anybody.
Well, he's an athlete. I mean, he's really having another hitter for me in that lineup. He has a pretty good approach. Running the bases again, though, 2 outs, so you take all the stink out of it.
Well, Cliff Lee talked about that pitcher's hitting competition during spring training.
We tweaked the rules a little bit this year. He exposed a weakness in our system that we had and pulled it off. But I think this year it's going to definitely come down to who's the best hitter.
He being Cole Hamels, I think, because he won the competition last year.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's tremendous. I mean, if you were really looking at it, you would have thought that Cliff Lee would have had it hands down the way that he was hitting the ballpark. After all, he did hit a couple of home runs. I'd have to see what that tweaking they did on there to try and make it a little bit fair.
Blanco down the right field line. Duda over. And a play. He's funny though, Lee.
Oh,
he's funny.
Yeah, he's got that sarcastic type humor.
Dorito goes back to first. Lee, as you saw, went back to third. One ball and 1 strike.
Fastball that Dickey throws, tops out at 85 so far tonight. Been throwing it right around 83, 84. What you want to do, get him into trouble and Hope that he makes a mistake where you can make solid contact. Manager Collins, he's looking on. There it is. Now, you just can't really force yourself to look for that pitch. But when you're behind, I mean, you can sit on it. You can see he was a little bit wild now. See if he comes back with the knuckleball.
On the right field line, should be an easy play for Lucas Duda. He's over. That's a foul ball, but he makes the catch. And the Phillies leave 2, including Lee over at third. We've played 5. We move on to the 6th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. And R.A. Dickey has been in control. Another great start. The first 2 wins of the Phillies' 2012 season came from the right hand of Roy Halladay. In his first 2 starts of the season, he was in total command as usual, allowing just 7 hits and 1 earned run over 15 innings. No better way to start a season than handing the ball to Doc. And his top-notch performances are brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, Doc has been very good. In fact, his outing the other day against the Miami Marlins gave him 190 wins. He's one of 4 pitchers in the post-World War II era to reach the 190 win mark with 92 or fewer losses. Whitey Ford, Hall of Famer. Juan Marichal, same. Pedro Martinez will be in the very near future.
Oh, I would think, without a doubt. Well, he was as dominating as any pitcher at that particular time.
Daniel Murphy will start it off for the Mets in the 6th, up 4-1. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Murphy, who's 1 for 2. Double homer run his first time up. Ooh.
That is what you call a self-defense swing. It appeared that if he hadn't hit the ball might have hit him. That'll give you something to think about. Take a look at it. It coming in, and you can see it was almost where he was getting out of the way, and he just swung the bat anyway.
Well, he goes right inside again. An easy play.
Boy, I tell you what, that is some kind of pitch. And the second one even better as he keeps the ball in play. And again, that ball, he's hitting right on his thumbs.
So despite the fact he's allowed 2 homers today, he's allowed just 5 hits into the 6th inning. Only 66 pitches.
Well, throws a lot of strikes. The guys know that. They're going to be aggressive.
Terry Collins said today that he feels like they've been too aggressive. Or no, too passive. He wants them to be more aggressive. He likes the fact that they're taking a lot of pitches. You know, but he said if the best pitch of the at-bat is the second one, well, then go after it.
I agree with that philosophy. And even the first pitch, we would go up as if the count was 2 balls and no strikes. Therefore, you're looking for your pitch. You know, you might be sitting on a breaking ball, maybe the fastball, but whatever that pitch is, you look for it, and if it isn't there, you take it.
Polanco waits back on. Ground ball. Throws low. Dug out by Tomey. 2 outs. Cliff Lee has retired the Mets in order in the 3rd and the 4th today. And every time the Phillies pitchers do that, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, high-speed internet, and home phone. Two outs for Ike Davis. Davis is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. And a liner to left. John Mayberry is there, and he'll make the catch. Well, Cliff Lee, it's been an odd inning, or an odd outing, I should say, for Lee. He retires inside an order for the 3rd time. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Another sellout here at Citizens Bank Park. Very pleasant night. It's 4-1. Mets on top as we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's a sea of red.
Yep.
To the 208th consecutive sellout. It'll be Jimmy Rollins, Hunter Pence, Jim Tomey. He has scheduled hitters as we start the 6th. Rollins double and a strikeout. And he takes strike 1. Mentioned during the outset of the telecast, as all Philly fans know, that this is the 3rd anniversary of Harry's passing.
Yep.
0-2 the count. And during the 7th inning stretch tonight, we will have a very special tribute for you. Rollins lines it beautifully to right field. So he's 2 for 3. Also, you know, we as the broadcasters here at the Phillies have put together a broadcasters foundation.
Yep.
Called the Philadelphia Broadcasters Foundation. And it just so happens that we have extended our deadline for the scholarship that we'll give out to a rising junior or senior in the Philadelphia area. College senior in the Philadelphia area to the end of April. So if you want to go to phillybroadcasters.org, you can fill out the application for an up-and-coming broadcaster. $1,500 scholarship will be awarded sometime. We'll do it probably in the middle of May.
Okay.
Oh, and 1 the count to Hunter Pence, who's 0 for 2. down the right field line. Slicing just a little too much.
Boy, just missed from hitting the ball out of the ballpark to right field. Just a little bit quicker. Again, Hunter Pence is not one of those type of patient hitters. Very unorthodox, but it does work for him.
And he's rung up for the first out. 6 strikeouts for R.A. Dickey. The Mets family is mourning a loss of their own. Gary Carter, Hall of Fame catcher, passed away this past offseason. And the Mets are honoring him with the patch of Gary's number and the nickname Kid. That's what he was called throughout his career. Did Pete Rose give him that nickname too?
I don't know exactly who gave it to him, but I got to tell you, one of the best competitors of our time when we played. He was the type of hitter that was a clutch hitter. Again, probably second to Johnny Bench at that particular time. Johnny was just about on his way out of there, but Gary was as good as any of them in terms of catching. He would do it his way.
Throw over to first, and Rollins is back. Gary Carter passed away on the 16th of February at the age of 57. And some of the particulars on Carter: 324 home runs. He caught a lot of games.
Yeah, caught a lot of ball games. Look at those RBIs. And Jay, the guy was just in catching. You got to make sure that you're calling that game thinking about the pitchers first. Won that Roberto Clemente Award. That is quite an honor. And then to be the MVP in the All-Star game, not once but twice. It's just a feat. I can remember like it was yesterday and playing against him. I'm telling you, just didn't want to see him coming up late in the ball game with men on base. Just didn't want.
Mets players have these T-shirts with the number 8 on them that they wear underneath their uniform. Boy, Jimmy Rollins is awfully close.
Now, you don't have to do that again because you are down. Quick feet, though, by Dickey. And Hill has to come up first, and that's what you want to look at if you're on the bases.
3-1 the count to Tony.
Cannot throw over to first without that Hill coming up. With good base stealers will look at that. Use that for a key to get a jump.
John Mayberry waits on deck. 3-1 the count to Tomey. Grounds it foul.
I thought that Jimmy Rollins would be running on that particular play right there. Still want to keep up your running game. 3-1 is a good running count. Just got to make sure, though, if you go, you're going as if you're trying to steal the base, not just looking at it as a hit run.
Dickey's got some kind of move going. I mean, he's quick over there.
Oh, he's very quick. You know, and when he's quick, it's simple. I mean, you got to almost shorten your lead up a little bit. But as long as he's back, that tells you, you know, he's got a decent lead.
3-2 the count. Another throw over, and Rollins is just back again.
See him getting back there as he goes toward the end of that bag. Not a good time to be getting picked off. I mean, there's no good time, but especially when you're down.
Base hit for Jim Tomey. Rollins on his way to third. Phillies have first and third with 1 out. Let's see if they get something going.
There you go. They have to continue to do their running game. And Jimmy Rollins was running.
First hit of the year for Jim Tomey. Charlie Manuel said at spring training that he'd like to start Tomey once, twice a week, get his swing going, so then it'll help him as a pinch hitter. Getting his first hit would probably help a little bit.
Well, it really does. Whether or not you're a veteran player or not, you don't have hits. I mean, you might as well be a rookie. There's just nervous times.
So here's Mayberry. Outside, 1-0. Phillies now have 8 hits. There is bullpen action for both the Phils and the Mets. Bobby Parnell for the Mets. You want to talk about a drastic difference in style.
No kidding. Outfield back, however.
1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Pretty good pitch by Dickey. That ball coming in on the hands there of Mayberry. One of those balls there that you got to be disciplined enough to be able to take it. And the other thing with Dickey, you almost can't be afraid to hit with 2 strikes. Knowing that early on, that fastball, he's going to want to try and get inside or tie up those big guys that can get their hands extended. Want to get something out of this some kind of way.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Miami Marlins are leading the Astros 4-2. Omar Infante an RBI and a run scored. Phillies took 2 of 3 for the Marlins. Cliff Lee looking on, hoping his team can get some runs here. The 1-2, swing and a miss. 2 outs.
You see that pitch there, because he's getting so many balls on the inside part of the plate. That ball is on near the outside. He has a tendency to come off the ball. Now watch, see where his head is, see where the ball is. Now that stroke there for me should be going the other way. But when you're getting jammed there, your conscience is telling you, hey, that ball coming inside, I need to get out there a little quicker. Consequently, any ball out over the plate will be very difficult to hit.
Well, Bob Guerin and Terry Collins are telling Ike Davis to play behind Tomey. With Ruiz up, he's 0 for 2.
Big strikeout for Dickey. Ruiz needs to come up with a 2-out clutch base hit.
Foul ball, and it's 1-1. Phillies are 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position in the game. The only run, a home run by Freddy Galvis.
You want to be in the habit of really being able to try and fight your way back. Therefore, when you're down in the future, at least you feel good that you can come back. Well, we're not talking a whole lot of runs here. We're only talking 3 runs to tie this ball game up.
On the hands, so Looper back towards second, and Murphy is there. And the Phillies leave a couple more. They've left 4 in the last 2 innings against R.A. Dickey. They've made him throw 88 pitches through the first 6, but he has a 4-1 lead as we go to the 7th. answer. Wheels, here we go. Name the only two managers in Mets history to win 100 games in a season.
Well,
get any text messages?
No, but I wrote down a couple here. I'm going to go with Davey Johnson in '86.
Davey Johnson in '86 is correct. He did it twice, by the way.
Oh, is that right?
'86 and '88.
Okay. Now I'm torn between Gil Hodges and Bobby Valentine.
Well,
and since I'm more a fan of Gil Hodges,
I was going to say, who do you like more?
I'm going to go with Gil Hodges.
You are correct.
They never won 100 games, so the Mets won. Okay.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans. You may get a phone call out of that one. Jason Bay will lead it off here at the top of the seventh.
I'll have Jay Horowitz in the back of the booth telling me, Wheels, Bobby wants to see you. Oh, that was some night.
Bay takes a strike. It's kind of an odd night. The Phillies have 8 hits. The Mets have 5. The Phillies trail at 4-1. Lee has not pitched bad at all.
No.
At all.
You know, he made the first inning. He was, struggling with his command. And talked about that right away. You could see he was wild in the zone that first inning. And then what was that? A curveball that he threw to Hairston? Or a slider?
Oh yeah, curveball.
Yeah. And it looked like a breaking ball that was up, and he just crushed it.
And a call, strike 3. That's 6 strikeouts for Cliff Lee. 75 pitches, and his pitch count is in perfect shape right now.
You know, he's gotten hitters up and down really fast, but those 2 home run balls have really hurt him, obviously. Extra base hits, what they've had 4 of them. 4 extra base hits to score those 4 runs because he had the back-to-back doubles in the first inning.
And 1 the count. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One earned run in 21 innings against the Mets, coming in 4 in 6 1/3. Tonight's game. Not a bad pitch with the count 1-2, so it's even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got him. Ruiz hangs on. 7 strikeouts for Lee. Only the second one swinging. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Two out. Scott Hairston, 1 for 2. Homered his last time up. 0-1 the count. Mentioned that Hairston's playing for the injured Andres Torres. Torres with the bad calf, which was bothering him during the spring. Hairston filling in center. Should be an easy play for Placido Polanco, and it is. So Lee, with 83 pitches tonight, is through the 7th. He's retired 9 in a row since the home run. When we return, a tribute to the great HK Harry Kalas.
out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I ever get back. For it's root for the. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs.
It's the Superstars with Harry Galvis. Boy, it was great to see him perform. This is the 3rd anniversary of Harry's passing. Obviously, he passed away in 2009. 18-time Pennsylvania Sportscaster of the Year. Of course, the great honor of being inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame in 2002, and he is sorely missed. I thought it was one of great sights when you saw the Phillies players and the coaching staff all in front of the dugout at Wrigley Field that night. I mean, it was, or that day, I should say. That was incredible.
That was back in those days. That was one of the few times I ever saw him sing in the daytime. That was usually a nighttime act.
Well, he was practicing.
Oh, he loved doing that. Take me out to the ball games. Harry's from Chicago. No, obviously he's not a Cubs fan.
I grew up a Senators fan.
Yeah, but you know, he was from Naperville, which is a western suburb of Chicago, and he and Harry Carey had a great relationship. So, you know, he was honored to be able to do that.
Yeah, it was great.
After Harry Carey died.
Galvis pops it up behind the plate. Well, we of course are always honored to be in the Harry Galvis broadcast booth right next to the Richie Ashburn radio booth here at Citizens Bank Park. Extremely honored to call him a friend and a colleague for, well, for me, you know, a brief amount of years. For you, a long time.
Long time, to say the least. Met him in '71.
0-2 to Galvis to right center field. I don't think anybody's going to get that one. They're not. In no man's land, Galvis is aboard. The unfortunate thing about the Phillies down 4-1 here, despite the fact that he's 2 for 2, is that Cliff Lee is going to have to be pinch hit for. Terry Collins is probably on that fence right now. What should he do? Should he let him continue with a 3-run lead? Lance Nix is the scheduled pinch hitter for the Phillies. Well, a nice job by Lee. I mean, he's down by 3, but he really pitched well tonight.
Very strange game. Just made it look so easy, and somehow, you know, made enough bad pitches, I guess, to give up 4 runs.
5 hits overall, 2 home runs.
Well, the extra base hits just got him tonight.
Seven strikeouts for Lee. In all honesty, that first inning, you know, he was struggling with his command, and that's what led to 3 of the 4 runs.
He was getting some pitches up and in the strike zone, and you know, they hit him hard in the first inning, especially that ball Bay hit.
1-2 the count.
Well, it's tough enough to pinch hit. You pinch hit off a guy like this.
Outside, 2-2 the count to Nix. See the folks clapping behind Nix. Mr. Fanatic has arrived. Can't hit a knuckleball, but he can clap with the best of them.
He is a knuckleball.
Back towards shortstop. That's going to be 2. Tejada has 1, 2. 6-3 double play.
See how a knuckleball can jam a hitter too. Thing jumps, comes inside. Looks like a strike when you're swinging at it, and it sure isn't when you hit it. Watch this thing move. Now, out of his hand, that's got a lot of the plate and up, and then it moves, and you jam yourself, basically, is what he did there. That probably wasn't even a strike.
2 outs. Victorino's the batter. He has a hit tonight. But he takes strike 1. He's hitting 6 straight. One ball, 1 strike, the count. Over to third. Turner makes a backhanded stab and throws out Victorino. And the Phillies go down quietly in their half of the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on base. We go to the 8th, and the Mets are on top 4-1. By W.B. Mason, you can't go wrong when you buy right. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by Toyota, every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. We go to the 8th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies down 4-1. It is Friday the 13th, and because of that, well, a little horror theme for the Fanatic.
Monster Mash.
Monster Mash. Jason from horror movies of years gone by. Josh Tolley will lead it off for the Mets. This game in the top of the 8th. It'll be Tolley, the pitcher spot. And he hits it back toward the box against Kyle Kendrick, and Kendrick flips over to first, 1 away. So Kendrick on for Cliff Lee, who won 7, allowed 5 hits and 4 runs, 2 home runs. So he'll pitch here in the 8th. See his numbers. This is his 3rd ball game. A 6.75 earned run average. Kirk Neuenhuis will be the pinch hitter for the Mets. With 1 away here in the top of the 8th. A little different role for Kyle Kendrick, at least at this point in the year. Last year he was a long man and a starter at times. This year it's kind of up in the air. I mean, he's out there to pitch in spots like this. Could be used in a close ball game with the Phillies on top in the 8th or in the 7th.
Well, it's not a glamorous job, but it's an important job because in this case it's to try and keep it right where it is. There's Dickey did a good job tonight. You know, he stranded a bunch of base runners. He had 2 double plays when he needed them. He got it done.
On the hands, that's going to be a base hit to right field. Hunter Pence gets on it quickly. And Kirk Neuenhuis is aboard.
I think he uses basically his fastball and his knuckleball all night. That one was started out a strike, but it was called one as it dove down. There's a swing and a miss. Another one by Jimmy Rollins. One of the double plays that the Phillies hit into right there. A 5-4-3 off the bat of John Mayberry. Hunter Pence with a knuckleball that he chased. Mayberry again with a knuckleball that he swung over. So real good job by R.A. Dickey tonight. There's his final line. Just 1 walk and the 7 punch-outs.
Back to the top of the order. Ruben Tejada is the batter. Tejada's 1 for 3. He had one of the 3 extra base hits by the Mets in the first against Cliff Lee. Polanco will give this a look over toward the railing, and it's out of play. 0-1. Over to third, that could be 2. Polanco around the horn. Galvis, an easy 5-4-3 double play. And it turns out to be a very easy 8th inning for Kyle Kendrick. So the Phillies will get another opportunity. They're down by 3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Mets on top 4-1. Time now for our Liberty Mutual defensive play of the game. Phillies have been looking for some offense. Looks like they may have gotten some here with John Mayberry.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things that helped Dickey out early. Phillies were down by 3 runs at that point, and John thought he saw a double, but he's out of second. He may not have been tagged there, but the ball beat him by enough that they called him out.
I don't think he was tagged until he had both hands on the bag.
Yeah.
But Bay gets his 2nd outfield assist of the year. That defensive play brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. Responsibility. What's your policy? Bobby Parnell is the new pitcher for the Mets as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
This guy, I was watching him the other night, and he looks totally different than he used to. He's still got that mid-90s fastball. We look like he's throwing a hook the other night. He used to throw everything real hard. Fastball, hard slider. It looked like guys could time him, especially left-handed hitters. Phillies, when they had all those left-handed hitters, really hit this guy hard. Now he's a little bit different. See how he goes at it tonight.
Well, Placido Polanco will lead it off for the Phils here at the bottom of the 8th. Phillies made a transaction earlier today. For more on that, here's Greg Murphy.
That's right, Tom. Earlier today, Phil's announcing that they signed utility infielder Mike Fontenot to a minor league contract, so he'll join the organization. Kind of guy that can play a couple of different positions in the infield. Probably not shortstop anymore at this point in his career. He's 31 at this point, but he gives the Phillies organization a little depth in the organization if they wanted to bring up a guy that can play a couple different positions in the infield.
Yeah, it had been rumored for a while that Fontenot, once he was released by the Giants, might be available for the Phillies. I guess the Braves were also in the mix. And it was his good friend Ryan Terrio that kind of squeezed him out of San Francisco, Murph.
yeah, with friends like that, right?
Yeah. All right, well, we'll look forward to seeing what Fontenot can bring to the Phils, if anything.
Those guys played together at the Cubs and at LSU.
LSU,
right?
yeah. And Terrio came over to the Giants this offseason. 3-0 the count to Polanco here in the 8th. 3-1. Terry Collins has said in the past that he likes to follow up R.A. Dickey with a guy like Parnell because you go from the floater to the fastball. I mean, it's a drastic difference in velocity. Little number to first. Hey fans, next time you want to catch a Phils game, head to StubHub, where you'll find the seats you want and the freedom to choose where you want to sit. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Phillies. One out, Jimmy Rollins the hitter. Rollins is 2 for 3. He was able to time R.A. Dickey's knuckleball without any issues.
Yeah, and he had a lot of trouble with it before. One of his better nights against him. I think he did a good job controlling the game. You know, he gave up some base runners, but then he made pitches when he had to. There's Tim Burdick, the one left-hander they have, with that huge right-hander there. Yeah, that's who you think it is. That's Roush.
Rollins flares it to center. He has 3 hits tonight.
Seems like John Roush has pitched almost everybody in this division.
Yeah. There he is.
Seen a lot of him over the years.
6'11". The closer is Frank Francisco.
Yeah, we mentioned Burdick's the one left-hander they have available. Tomey on deck. Pence gets on, he's a tying run. Tomey, so that means Burdick's coming in.
Fastball first strike. It's 0-1. Phillies losing here 4-1 as we are in the bottom of the 8th, trailing 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Flyers trail 3-2 to the Penguins in game 2 of their playoffs. They're down 4-3 to the Penguins. Sixers have tied up the Nets. That's at 78 apiece. Sixers have the 7th spot right now in the conference. Games are winding down in the NBA. 0-2 the count to Pence. He's down on strike. So Pence is 0 for 4. Well, there are 2 outs.
Well, he just threw fastballs at him.
Now he may just let Parnell pitch to Tomey.
That was an intentional high fastball. You see Tolley put the glove up in the air and Parnell hit it.
Tomey got his first hit as a Philly this year. A single his last time up. Walked in the 4th. Struck out looking in the 2nd. Check swing. Right back to the box. And that should do it for the 8th, and does. So the Phillies go down quietly again. They have 10 hits tonight, but only 1 run to show for it. We've completed 8. We move to the 9th inning. The Mets on top 4-1. battle back here at Citizens Bank Park. Top of the 9th inning. Kyle Kendrick back to work. Phillies trail it by 3. Daniel Murphy, Justin Turner, Ike Davis, the scheduled hitters. Murphy's 1 for 3, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Tom mentioned Frank Francisco, their closer. Guy was in the American League for a long time, and he is up now in a save situation. Pitch the 9th inning.
1 ball and 1 strike. Talk about a team that's revamped their bullpen.
Yeah. Well, they got Ramirez over here, who's with the Giants for a lot of years. Came over in that deal. Pagan went over there, and Ramirez, and there is Frank Francisco warming up. Ramirez and Torres came over from the Giants in that deal.
On the outside corner, 2-2. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, we go out to San Francisco, where James McDonald had the only hit for the Pirates as San Francisco shut out Pittsburgh 5-0. Talk about a team that's not scoring runs.
Yeah, that was Matt Cain. Phillies will get him in the 3rd game of the series out there next week.
Bring him on, Wheels.
Yep. Hit Lincecum and Baumgartner. And, oh, there it is right there. Baumgartner and Matt Cain. There are the matchups.
Halladay, Blanton, and Lee.
Boy, has Lincecum been hit hard in his 2 starts this year. Wow. Really hard. You know, what did he give up? 8 runs in a game?
Surprising. You know, it's kind of like Josh Johnson, who's given up. He's tied his career high in hits allowed, and then given up a new career high in hits allowed to the Phillies.
Yeah.
Three and 2 the count. Opposite way, slicing foul. Time now for our Coors Light freeze cam. Well, knuckleball is not the easiest pitch to hit.
No, and you see it thrown with the fingertips. It's certainly not thrown with the knuckles. See those fingertips on the baseball. And R.A. Dickey, the only knuckleballer right now in Major League Baseball, and he had a good one as usual. Watch it dive down out of the zone to get a strikeout there on Jimmy Rollins, and that's our Coors Light freeze cam.
3-2 the count to Murphy. Kendrick in relief of Cliff Lee. And a grounder up the first baseline foul right past Tom Goodwin, who did not make an attempt to field that, but he was an outfielder during his day. So
Tim Lincecum's ERA after 2 starts is 12.91. Give you an idea how much he struggled.
Another foul ball. There's David Wright. They'll find out tomorrow whether Wright will be able to play. Just being in the clubhouse today, listening to Terry Collins and listening to David talk. There's a lot of thought that he's going to go on the disabled list tomorrow.
He'll probably want to fill his roster spot if he can't do anything.
They just don't want to play another day without an extra spot. So there's probably somebody here waiting in the wings. And it remains 3-2. He was off to a pretty good start too. He was 7 for 12 with a home run. You see his career numbers. One to the left, 301 lifetime average.
Big time player, David Wright. You know, he can really play third base too.
Another foul ball.
I think the way things change. It wasn't that long ago. You looked at the Mets and you thought David Wright and Jose Reyes are going to put them long-term deals. They'll be there forever. And what a left side of the infield. So much for that.
Their left side, the Phillies' right side with Chase and Ryan Howard,
who are still with the Phillies, but they're not at this time.
3-2 again. And ball 4. So Murphy draws a walk to lead off the 9th. There's Ryan Howard, who most likely won't be around even when the Mets come back to town on May 7th, 8th, and 9th. The hope is that Ryan will be back in a Phil's uniform maybe sometime in June, maybe toward the All-Star break. We'll see. It's still kind of open. Get your tickets for that series against the Mets by going to Phillies.com. Toss over to first. Murphy's back. There's Tom Goodwin, first base coach, whisper in his ear. Might be surprised to hear that Tom Goodwin stole 369 bases during his major league career.
He could really run. We see him with the Giants when he came over. Dodgers. Well, he was fast. He's a glider too. There he is.
I say that because I think it's more surprising that he was able to sustain his career as long, because he wasn't a tremendous hitter.
No, but he could run.
Look out. Oh, and 2 the count. See, Wheels, this is where you need your computer up here. You could Google Tom Goodwin.
Yeah, I got it. Dodgers, Kansas City, Texas, Dodgers again, San Francisco, finished up with the Cubs.
On the hands, a foul ball. It remains 0-2.
You know me, I'm okay now. I can use all the new media and all, but I still like to grab the media guy.
You like books?
I do.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Atlanta on top of the Brewers 5-3. Brian McCann is a home run. He's 3 for 3. Apparently, there was some chance of a cheater when Ryan Braun came to the plate down in Atlanta. They got a little vocal down there.
Well, they talked about that when he went on the road this year to certain cities, he could have problems. I don't think they thought one of them was going to be Atlanta.
Can't imagine they did.
Possibly here.
Good question. Got a big, good possibility.
Very creative here.
New York.
Oh, given.
Los Angeles, maybe.
San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
But Atlanta, I'm a little surprised.
What about St. Louis?
No, they're nice.
Over to short. This might be 2. Nope, it's not going to be 2. It's not going to be 1.
Yep, should have been 2.
So at E6.
Trying to get it to him in a hurry. And Jimmy Rollins just doesn't make the play. Ball wasn't hit real hard, so he rushed it just a little bit and just never had control of it. You see it hit right in the pocket. He gets nobody. So one of the keys of the game we mentioned tonight was play a clean game the way they had the last couple nights, and it really hasn't been that way tonight.
Mike Davis tonight is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice. He's flat out. He has runners on first and second. It's a 4-1 game. Phillies have out hit the Mets 10-6. But couldn't accomplish a whole lot offensively against R.A. Dickey. Meanwhile, Cliff Lee went 7, allowed 4 runs, struck out 7, gave up 3 in the first. And that was his downfall, at least for his outing.
Lincecum has given up 5 earned runs in 1 start, 6 in another, total of 11.
So one of those polls that they play in one of the shows here at the ballpark at the big video board, and he was polled as the toughest pitcher to face.
Yeah, especially by a lot of right-handed hitters that were up there talking about it. Pence was one of them. So was Matt Kemp.
Even Brian McCann, a lefty.
Be interesting to see, you know, if it's starting to take its toll on him a little bit. All the pitches he's thrown.
Outside, 2-1.
Not a big guy. You know, great mechanics. But, you know, his fastball velocity started to go down a little bit the last couple of years. Probably lights out on Monday now after all this, right?
Good news for the Phillies is that they have somebody that could be lights out too.
Oh, very good point. That's a heck of a matchup. Roy Halladay and Tim Lincecum.
It's 2-2 to Davis. Getting some foul balls against Kyle Kendrick. Joe Savory starting to throw in the bullpen for the Phillies. There's Joe.
Normally not a good time to run. Base runners are checking out the coaches right now to see if there's any sign. Probably hold, because you line out into a triple play in these situations. You usually don't run with nobody out. There they go.
They don't go. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded. So 2 walks and an error. And the Phillies are in a little bit of trouble here in the top of the 9th inning. Rich Doobie going out to the mound to talk with Kyle Kendrick.
They probably have to play the infield in now too, because they don't want to give up another run on a double play ball.
Jason Bay is the hitter. He can hit into a double play. Or maybe hit one at the corners, or where they can go home to first.
Right. See if they come in. Freddy Galvis is still way back, but it looks like they got to tell him. Oh, just heard that whistle. That was what that was for.
We'll celebrate Earth Day with the Phillies and Waste Management, our 2nd annual Red Goes Green e-cycle event on Saturday the 21st of April at Citizens Bank Park. It takes place from 9 until 1 p.m. Go to phillies.com/redgoesgreen for more info. Inside, ball 1.
Guy can hit a ball this hard. It's not fun when you have to play the infield in. One out, they play it back. But with nobody out, they have to play up.
2-0 the count. There's a strike, and it's 2-1. Kyle just said something to Brian Enora about that pitch. He doesn't usually say much. Ruiz held it for a while. Ground ball toward third. Polanco has it. He's going to come home. There's one. That's all they'll get. But they do get the lead runner. 1 out. The bases remain loaded.
Yeah, they got what they wanted out of that. He threw a good sinker to him and got the weak ground ball. Murphy not a fast runner at third base, and now Charlie Manuel's going to come make a pitching change.
So with the bases loaded and 1 out, Kyle Kendrick's evening is complete. Got himself into a little bit of trouble here in the 9th, so he gets the first out, and he's hoping Joe Savory can get him out of the rest of this trouble. Kendrick will walk off. Savory will trot in. We've got a pitching change. It's brought to you by AT&T here at Citizens Bank Park in the 9th inning with the Phils trailing at 4-1. Wheels, if you've got a question for the postgame show, now it's time to get it in. Like PHL 17 on Facebook and post your question. Like Missinelli and Marty Bystrom have the answers and all the highlights on the Phillies postgame show. Up next, live from Sugar House Casino. Top of the ninth, it's 4-1. Mets on top. They have the bases loaded. And Joe Savory, the rookie, into the ballgame to face the left-hander Lucas Duda. The corners are in. The middle infielders are back. They're hopefully going to try to turn two.
Right. You have a slow runner at home plate. And they're going to gamble that they can get two on him.
Savory watches Duda hit it to left. Playable for Mayberry. A run will score, though. So a sac fly. And it's 5-1 New York.
And that's the run they were trying to prevent. Takes it out of a save situation. Francisco is still throwing out there.
RBI for Duda is third of the year.
Scored a run without a hit so far. They're sending the error the key to it, so that'll be unearned.
Ronnie Cedeno is going to pinch hit. Savory in one game so far, that was opening day against the Marlins, an inning and 2/3 and a run. Ronnie Cedeno. This is the pitcher's spot, so he's pinch hitting for the pitcher, Bobby Parnell. Tomey will play off the runner at first. The first pitch is high. It's 1-0. Looks like they're going to stay with Francisco.
Yeah, he was ready to go. I mean, talking about lathered, he'd thrown a few times out there. So, you know, they're at the point right now they figure they're going to use him. You warm up that much, you may as well use the guy.
Out of play, and it's 2-2. Davis goes back to second. Bay back to first. I should say 2-1. Just heard a murmur from the crowd before the pitching change, and that's why. How about the Flyers? They've come back and they've tied it again. Game's second intermission, getting ready for the third period.
A lot of offense in that game.
Sure is. Both games.
Yep.
Ooh, man. That looked like a strike. It was a ball, though, and the bases are loaded.
Still not a hit in this inning. Slow.
Nope. Carlos Ruiz sold it for me, Wheels.
Yeah.
He framed it.
He did a nice job with it.
Tolley is 1 for 3 in the game.
Didn't fool that Brian O'Nora, though.
Asked Brian O'Nora if that was a good pitch. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1. Tolley hitting a slick .412 so far in the season. There's nowhere to put him with the bases loaded and 2 outs. 3-1 the count. Nieuwenhuis waits on deck. And a strike. It's 3-2.
Tony's been back there all night. He's thinking, I don't know if you could call that all night. Looks like it was high. Oh my. It's really high.
Runners go. Pitch is lined to left. Mayberry's there, and the side is retired. But the Mets do score an unearned run. They do so without the help of a base hit. On to the bottom of the ninth. Phillies have their work cut out for them. Down 5-1. To the bottom of the ninth. They do have 10 hits, but Wills, they don't have a whole lot of extra base hits. The Mets, however, they have a couple long ones.
It's a killer in the first inning. Cliff Lee looked like he was trying to cut that ball in on Jason Bay. Didn't get it there. And it took a long ride into the Phillies bullpen. Then the fifth inning, a breaking ball, curveball up, and Hairston hits it out of the park. So those 2 home runs tonight really hurt Cliff Lee and the Phillies. They trail this one 5-1, and those are W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
Of the 10 hits, the Phillies 2 extra base hits. A double by Rollins in the first. The home run, the first Major League home run for Galvis in the third. So now Frank Francisco, who has 3 saves this year. This is not a save situation. He's on to face John Mayberry, Carlos Ruiz, and Freddy Galvis. Those are the scheduled hitters. Francisco over from the American League, and he is indeed the closer for the New York Mets.
More strikeouts and innings pitched the way most closers are. He is a fastball, breaking ball, split finger pitch. His fastball 91-95. His breaking ball is a curveball.
25 saves back in 2009 with Texas, 17 last year with the Blue Jays in 54 appearances. He kind of won the closer's role by default. I say that because, well, they didn't have a whole lot of options. The revamped bullpen. They thought about John Roush. They thought about Francisco. So here's Mayberry. 1 for 3. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Had 49 Major League saves coming into this season. His high was 25 with the Rangers in 09.
Kind of a setup guy before that. And he delivers a strike. 92 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mayberry. Ruiz is on deck. Ruiz is in the hole. He's on the stairs. Charlie Manuel does have at his disposal Juan Pierre, Ty Wigginton, Brian Schneider, and Pete Orr, if he chooses to use them at some point in this inning. There's Freddie. There's Juan. Career numbers for Francisco. Mayberry tried to hold. He went around, according to Brian Honora. And I guess he was tagged, although Honora said no. And there's one out.
That looked like a split. That was his changeup. Threw him a lot of fastballs, and then that thing just exploded down.
Phillies had managed to get base runners early on. There you see that pitch we was just talking about.
Yeah, that was a splitter. Trying to hold up, but he definitely, well, it was close, but it looked like he went.
Speaking of base runners, Phillies have had a base runner in every inning. They've left 7. Four of those 7 in scoring position. Carlos hitless in 3 at bats. Lifts it deep center field. Newman Heist not going to get that one, and it's off the base of the wall. Carlos pulls into second. 3rd extra base hit of the day for the Phils. So there's a little life left in this offense here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
He turned a fastball around. Francisco throws fastball right down the middle, and Carlos Ruiz hits in the deepest part of the ballpark. Base of the fence out by the 409.
And he's safe at second, safe and secure with New York Life. Freddy Galvis is 2 for 3 today. Singled his last time up. First major league home run in the 3rd. 5 runs batted in. Ball 1. By the way, the 5 runs batted in for Galvis leads the team.
That's kind of what you expect out of the guy hitting 8th, right?
Juan Pierre's come out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit. There's Juan. Ball 1 strike the count. Corners are in. Freddy's already tried to bump once tonight. Holds up. They appeal. No swing, says DJ Rayburn.
Yeah, he's thrown him a couple splits. That was a good job by Tolley. He really improved as a catcher. He first came up. He just didn't look like a real good defensive catcher, and they've really worked with him. Moves around well now.
Ball eludes the folks near the Phillies dugout. So Sam, the Phillies ball girl, comes hustling down to pick it up. Ruiz on second. 1 out here at the bottom of the 9th. The count is 2-2. Swing and a miss. Tolley digs it out of the dirt, and there are 2 outs.
They decided they wanted to go after him with splitters, and finally got him on one.
So the last hope for the Phils is Juan Pierre. Ryan Howard, who continues his rehab, just having his presence in the middle of this lineup will eventually help again, not only because of what it could produce, but what it gives everybody else around him the opportunity to see.
Well, he's a 4-hole hitter, proven cleanup hitter in the major leagues on an everyday basis. That's all you have to know.
Turner's way in on the grass at 3rd with 2 outs. Pierre takes a strike, according to Brian Honora.
Yeah, they're going to try and take the bunt away from him until he gets 2 strikes. And You know, that's why Turner's way up at third, even with a 4-run lead. This guy's thrown a breaking ball yet. It's like just fastball splitter so far.
His fastball's in at 91, 92. Curveball. There you go, Wheels.
There it is. And that's what the scouting reports on him have. His breaking ball as a curveball. And that's what we just saw in the first one.
R.A. Dickey tonight went 7 innings. He allowed just 1 run, a home run by Freddy Galvis. He scattered 9 hits. All but 2 were singles. He stands to be the winner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. The dirt, 2-2.
Tony's doing a nice job blocking that splitter. When that's an out pitch for your guy, and it certainly appears to be for Francisco, it's a hard pitch to control a lot of times because you're trying to get a guy out on non-strikes.
Ground ball towards second. This should do it. Oh, right between the 5-hole of Daniel Murphy. It won't do it. A run will score. It's a 5-2 ball game.
Well, Murphy struggles at second base. You know, he can swing the bat, but not a real good infielder. They say his natural position is third base. We've seen of him at second. You know, he is an adventure. And that's just such a routine ground ball that, you know, they're lucky. I mean, they have a big lead still right there. Just keep everything down. And you saw his backside starting to come up, and that makes your hands come up.
Now Victorino with Pierre at first, not being held on. And a strike. It's 0-1. Two. Cliff Lee started for the Phillies, gave up 3 in the first. Had spurts in which he retired 6 in a row and 9 in a row during the outing. But he's on the losing end right now. Pierre goes. Pitch is fouled away by Victorino. Flyers were down 5-4. Maybe they found the 5-hole as well, as they've tied it up again in the third period against the Penguins. It's 5-5. 0-2 the count. Pierre takes off. Nobody was covering. They kind of left it open for him for most of the at-bat to Victorino, and he finally took advantage of it.
Yeah, they don't really care about him going to second base right there. They want to keep everybody all the way back. So that's just a fielder's choice.
A base hit by Victorino to the right spot, and the tying run could come to the plate. Nope. Victorino's down on strikes. A split from Francisco, and the Mets have taken game 1 of this 3-game series. The Phillies do get a run here in the 9th, but R.A. Dickey wins for the second time this year. He is now 2-0, and he's 3-3 against the Phils. Jason Bay had the big blow. That was back in the first inning. It was a 2-run home run, an opposite field home run that was part of a 3-run inning for the Mets, and they kind of rode that inning and the momentum of that and R.A. Dickey to the victory tonight. R.A. Dickey is our Chevrolet player of the game.
Yeah, why not? He was really good here. He gave up a bunch of hits, but he made pitches when he had to, especially with his knuckleball. See all these strikeouts coming on knuckleballs, and he also had 2 double plays. That really helped him. So the Phillies had base runners against Dickey, but just couldn't get a big hit when they needed it. And the guy did a tremendous job and deserves a win tonight. And the Chevrolet player of the game.
So the Phillies drop game 1 just as they did to the Miami Marlins. They lose it 5-2. We'll be back to talk more about it right after this.